For decades, fans around the world have watched the undeniable chemistry between Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. They were electric in speed and tenderly emotional in the lake house. And yet, despite being two of the most beloved and humble stars in Hollywood, and despite fans practically begging for it, they never became a couple. Now at 60, Keanu Reeves has finally opened up about the real reason he never married Sandra Bullock. And what he said might surprise you, touch your heart, and maybe even bring a tear to your eye. Let's dive into the story that's more than just Hollywood gossip. It's a bittersweet tale of timing, choices, and quiet love. It all began in 1994 on the set of Speed, a film that would not only become a blockbuster, but also create one of Hollywood's most cherished on-screen duos. Keanu Reeves, the cool and intense action star, and Sandra Bullock, the vibrant and witty rising actress, lit up the screen with their chemistry. But what fans didn't see were the quiet moments behind the scenes, laughter between takes, deep conversations, and a growing bond that felt very real. In later interviews, Sandra would admit, "I think about how sweet Keanu was. He was very quiet. He'd just look at you with those eyes and listen." And Keanu, he once said, "She's such a wonderful person, it was hard not to have a crush." Wait, did they just say crush? Yes, both Keanu and Sandra later confessed they had feelings for each other back then, but neither acted on them. Why? Because they were too scared the other didn't feel the same. It was a classic case of what if, and that silent hesitation shaped the path of their relationship for years to come. After Speed, their careers soared. Keanu went on to do The Matrix, and Sandra became America's sweetheart with hits like Miss Congeniality and The Proposal. They occasionally crossed paths, but never really reconnected on screen until The Lake House in 2006. But real life? That was far more complicated. Sandra married motorcycle builder and TV personality Jesse James in 2005. Keanu, on the other hand, remained mostly single, carrying the weight of personal tragedies, the loss of his unborn child, and later, the death of his then-partner, Jennifer Syme. During this time, Keanu built a reputation for being deeply private and philosophical, often spotted riding the subway alone or donating millions quietly to hospitals. Fans started calling him the internet's boyfriend for his humility and kindness. Sandra, after her painful divorce in 2010, adopted 2 children and became a devoted mom. She once said, "I don't need a man to complete me. My children are my family." Meanwhile, Keanu remained a mystery. And yet, whenever the media brought up Sandra Bullock, his eyes would soften, and hers would too. In 2018, Sandra appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show and was asked about Keanu. She laughed and admitted she had a crush on him during Speed, adding, "But I thought he didn't like me." A few months later, Keanu was on the same show. When told about Sandra's comment, he smiled and said, "She obviously didn't know I had a crush on her too." The audience gasped, and fans around the world were screaming, "How did these two never end up together?" The truth was, beneath all the fame and success, they were both shy when it came to love, and they valued their friendship too much to risk ruining it. They never dated. They never confessed in real time, and the years just kept moving forward. But behind closed doors, they stayed in touch, sending birthday wishes, checking in after hard times, supporting each other's careers. It was a bond that never faded. By the time Keanu turned 60, he had faced more heartbreak than most, losing his best friend River Phoenix, his daughter, his partner, and living much of his life under the radar. He once said in an interview, "Grief doesn't end. It changes shape, but you carry it." Despite all the love he showed the world, he remained single for most of his life, until recently, when he made a quiet appearance with artist Alexandra Grant, his longtime friend turned partner. But even then, the question lingered. What about Sandra Bullock? In a rare, emotional interview for a magazine tribute on his 60th birthday, Keanu was asked if he ever regretted not marrying Sandra Bullock. He paused, and then he said something fans would never forget. Keanu Reeves looked directly at the interviewer and said, "Sandra is one of the kindest, most beautiful souls I've ever met. We had something special, but sometimes the timing just isn't right. I loved her, but I loved her enough to let her go." He went on to explain that their lives never lined up the way they needed to. They were both dealing with personal challenges at different times. And most importantly, he never wanted to interfere with her happiness or her family. I never wanted to complicate her world. I wanted her to be free, to choose her path. I think in another life, maybe, but in this one, I'm just grateful I got to know her at all. As for Sandra, in a recent interview, she echoed the same sentiment. Keanu is someone I trust completely. If we had gotten together, maybe we wouldn't have that. So I think it all worked out the way it was supposed to. Closing, more than romance, a rare kind of love. In a world where celebrity relationships are often fast and shallow, the story of Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock is something rare. It's not a fairy tale with a wedding at the end, but it's something deeper. A love built on respect, silence, timing, and the ability to care from a distance. They may never have become husband and wife, but they gave us something even more meaningful. A friendship that survived the years, the fame, the heartbreak, and at 60, Keanu's quiet confession reminds us of something powerful. Sometimes real love is not about holding on. It's about letting go with grace. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Would you have wanted to see Keanu and Sandra together? Let us know in the comments. Watch next. The Tragic Love Life of Keanu Reeves, A Heartbreaking Journey.